Welcome, everyone, to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Hot D, Episode 1, aka House of the Dragon. Real quick before we get into the reaction, for those who don't know, we have both seen, obviously, Game of Thrones. I'm decently knowledgeable about the books. I have not read them. I've just seen, every Alt-Shift-X video and, a bunch of theory videos. It's, a big hobby of mine to, look into the history and everything. That was a voice crack.
Okay.
But it's appropriate. The voice crack is appropriate considering how nerdy this is. Yeah, I love this series. I really was super disappointed for the last season, as many people were. Just as a little bit of background, that's, my opinion of it.
He went on a giant rampage, and we weren't in the same place at the same time, so he called me for 3 hours ranting about how horrible it was, which is quite traumatic.
I've since calmed down, but I still am not happy. Anyway, that's old news. I just wanted to give you a primer for at least my opinions. You feel the same way?
I wasn't as enthusiastic about it, but yes, I was not pleased by the last season.
Well, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I think at one point, because I have the World of Ice and Fire, I don't know if this is in that. It's obviously a prequel. It's really exciting. Targaryens are cool as shit, if super weird, and for many reasons. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I am optimistic. The things that I'm going to be looking out for the show are they making an adaptation of the books, or are they going to try and really tie it into the show canon of everything that happens? Obviously, we're not going to rehash the same conversations that everybody's been having for the last 2 years, but whether or not some of the plot points happened, how they happened, or the build-up, or whatever, or the things that were attached to them, what exactly are they going to be doing in this show that, are they going to try and really connect it to the show because that's what most people remember, or are they going to try and there's going to be a balance, I'm sure, because it's HBO, because everyone remembers the show. They're going to do some fan service for the show at some point. I don't know what they could even do. I don't know what they could do, but they're probably something more in that direction. I've seen the Iron Throne. I've seen One of the Dragons. But other than that, I don't super know everything that's going to happen personally. Are you about less than that?
Yeah, I haven't seen literally anything about this show, so I'm just excited. I hope that it's high quality. I hope that they have maintained some of the. I hope that it is more similar to the first earlier seasons of the show.
I doubt it will be,
but I feel I'm unlikely. But I hope that at least the quality's good, and they keep a cool story and an interesting characters, interesting plot, and have it its own little thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the one thing for me that's gonna seal it is the dialogue. I don't know the dialogue, I don't know the style of dialogue in Fire and Blood, the book that this is based on. Is it Fire and Blood? I think that's true. A big thing that I really liked was sort of the flow of scenes in earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, and the slow burn nature of it, and the really character focused dialogue rather than plot focused dialogue. And I'm looking forward to that. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that we can get back to that kind of style. Not necessarily. I really like the style of the sets and everything, and the filmmaking of the first and second season, especially. Once it got more popular and they got more budget, things got a little bit more up in scale, and I feel you lose the personality as it goes along. But I don't expect that from the show. What I'm hoping for is a lot of character focused scenes and moments and things like that. That's what I really want. And good, well written George R. R. Martin dialogue, not TV show producer focus tested we need to keep the attention span of these people. Let's cut out all the fat, all the interesting parts, and just keep it to what the plot is going on. I don't want that. I don't think anyone really wants that. I just hope that they know that that's not what we want, and aren't going off of, the success of the show on the face of it. I hope that they're really paying attention to what everybody's been screaming about for the past few years, and what really made
all
the
the
show
complaints were, what the highlights were, and what people actually liked about the show.
Yeah.
Not just how much money it made.
And not that everyone, because the thing, we're getting into this whole thing. You can skip to the reaction if you want. I think that a lot of people just, what can happen, and I've done this too, and we've done this on our channel with other reactions, is once you get in a negative mindset, everything becomes negative, and then it's just like, no matter what it is, no matter what they do, it's just like everything's kind of viewed with that slant. So something that might not be super negative is viewed in a negative light, and then something that's kind of neutral, it becomes like a strike in the category of the show. And I know that a lot of people complain about a lot of things, but there were things that were genuinely bad and were genuinely missteps, and one of them was the dialogue. I think that's the biggest thing. It's the style and the dialogue. You know, there's many little things, but you know, I just hope that they cut through the noise of all the people screaming and complaining and freaking out over the past 2 years and got to the actual real complaints, and that those are the things that they're kind of focusing on and want to fix, and that they don't try and like loop it in with some weird Easter eggs from the show or some shit like that. That's what I don't want. All that being said, thank you for clicking on this video. Please leave a like if you enjoy Game of Thrones, if you enjoy Hot D, if you enjoy beers in steins. Hope you enjoy this reaction as well. Leave a like and subscribe for more Hot D reactions and content. Let's go.
Jeez.
Oh my god, I'm actually excited though.
As the first century of the Targaryen dynasty came to a close,
Ooh.
with 10 adult dragons under its yoke, no power in the world could stand against it.
Where is this?
This
King
looks
Jaehaerys
crazy.
in 1060, over 1,000 lords made the journey to Harrenhal.
This is Harrenhal.
14 succession claims were heard, but only 2 were truly considered. Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, the king's eldest descendant, and her younger cousin, Prince Viserys Targaryen.
Exposition right off the bat.
And Prince Viserys Targaryen remain Prince.
Rhaenys would not inherit the Iron Throne.
Rhaenys named after Aegon's sister, by the way. Super historical figure.
I like the costumes.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that I was gonna look for to see
That's
to see
yeah.
if they like
If they went back to
cheaped
black
out
and silver.
or like just like did anything weird, or I don't know. I feel like it's not the main thing, but you can tell if they put effort into that in a historical setting show, in a show where that like just the feel and the look of everything is supposed to take you to a different place.
Yeah.
If that isn't like a top priority, then it just makes everything feel weird or cheap, or like it's too modern, or someone thought about it too much.
That's the
'Cause
problem that you get
want-
with season 7
exactly,
and 8
you
is where
want-
everything's black and silver.
you
Everybody's
want
wearing
it
black and silver.
to look realistic in the way that each of these people picked out their own outfit or had it made for them, not one person
Dress the entire
designed
thing to
every
create
person,
a kind of aesthetic,
every
yeah.
like side character, background extra. This is
Exactly.
exactly what you don't want.
The only thing that could tear down the House of the Dragon was itself.
Fire and blood. Ooh.
I like that they made it like just a hint of the Game of Thrones opening song in there, but like put a totally new sound to
Yeah,
it.
and I wonder if it's because obviously when they made the Game of Thrones intro, like the crazy map and everything, they were expecting to have like a multi-season, or they were hoping for a multi-season show.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, I don't know if it's going to continue for multiple seasons or if
I
it's just
think
going
it
to be the single
depends.
one.
I think my desire for that will depend on the plot, and if it is like something that would be best shortened up, then I would hope for that.
Little fun fact about about A Song of Ice and Fire lore: when spoilers, I guess, for Game of Thrones, when Jon was like gonna be revealed, a lot of people in the books as well to this day are still guessing what Jon's like Targaryen name will be. In the show, it was just Aegon, which didn't make any fucking sense because Rhaegar already had a son named Aegon who was killed. A lot of people think that he was going to be named Jaehaerys. Because Jaehaerys is like one of the benevolent kings, Targaryen kings. 9th year of King Viserys the First. I see. Good little
Just to-
addendum to
yeah,
make sure.
100
Oh my, okay. 172 years. Just to be clear, this is where we are. Oh, we can see dragons right now. God, it's gonna be watching a fantasy show.
Yeah.
When wonder which dragon this is.
I know. I hope we get to see all of them.
I'm not sure how many are left.
I thought they just said that there was 10. Or I guess at
they?
that point there was 10 in the last scene, but this is a little bit
Red
after.
Keep. Well, that's the Sept? I'm guessing that's the Sept.
That?
Or no, is it? What is
Isn't it?
that? I think it's supposed
it
to be,
is.
but the Sept has 7 sides. Oh, it might. There's the towers at the top. Not gonna lie, the CG not looking as good as Game of Thrones, but you know, it is what it is. Good enough. With Valyrians. Or not Valyrians, they speak Valyrian to command the dragon. Who is this? Princess?
Oh, putting him away.
Yeah, that's the dragon pits where they're stored. Mm-hmm. Ooh, they're really showing off, flexing.
Yeah. And some dragon statues.
Yeah, gone
Really
now.
sticking to the theme.
Well, it's like almost the same, like the same theme. This is kind of a reference to the show. This is where the map ended up being painted. They're like best friends.
Looking kind of nice. Everything kind of looking.
I like we're seeing more of the Red
yeah.
Keep. We only saw like the Tower of the Hand, the throne room, Cersei's chambers, you know, whatever. Like we saw like 5 rooms.
I guess they're showing how expansive and like new in comparison everything is. Like they're just hanging out. There's no wars or like tension or
Not right now.
not yet, but you
Yeah.
know, it's just showing how kind of nicely everything is working together.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Princess
You
Rhaenyra.
know I don't like you to go flying while I'm in this condition.
Don't I need to go flying when you're in any condition? Did you sleep?
I slept.
How long?
I don't need mothering, Rhaenyra.
Well, here you are, surrounded by attendants, all focused on the babe. Someone has to attend to you.
This discomfort is how we serve the realm.
I'd rather serve as a knight and ride to battle in glory.
One thing I'm noticing is all the Targaryens, I think, have a blue eyes in this. That's a kind of constant they're trying to keep. When obviously in the books they have purple
Yeah.
eyes, it's like a very clear thing. But I like them having like very striking blue eyes rather than just hazel, just like normal eyes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see more actors. This guy actually doesn't look like he has very blue eyes.
So I said to him, well, I believe
I think
you
it all
might be
depends on
looking
the
at
lighting.
wrong end.
He seems like a decent enough
My
king.
lords, the growing alliance among the free cities has taken to styling itself the Triarchy.
The Free Cities, Essos.
They've amassed and are presently ridding the stepstones of its pirate infestation.
Well, that sounds suspiciously like good news.
They call him the crab feeder, due to his inventive methods of...
Are we meant to weep for dead pirates?
No, your grace.
Rhaenyra, you're late. King's cupbearer must not be late. Leaves people wanting
Just visiting your mother.
on Dragonbank.
Grace, at Prince
You smell of dragon.
costs.
Then let us all
Who is
consider
that
you
guy?
our
He's in
grand
something else.
I thought that's who I thought the emperor. He was the emperor.
Do you think that they...
You know, I think he's an Outlander, and that same guy at the start was
Yeah,
also an
the
Outlander.
knight
This
or
guy,
attendant.
I think he was like the whatever tax collector guy, and then the other guy was Dougal. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
An assessment of his progress.
Good casting so far. I like it.
I would urge that you not allow this Triarchy much latitude in the stepstones, your grace. If those shipping lanes should fall, it will beggar our ports.
The Crown has heard your report, Lord Corliss, and takes it under advisement.
Is he a Summer Islander or is he?
This guy?
No. I can't tell the sigil. Is that a seahorse? I don't
I'm not
recognize
sure.
that
He
sigil.
was standing with the lady at the beginning.
I know, and I'm just I'm not trying to like make this a thing. I'm just trying to figure out if this is if he is a Summer Islander, which is where all the black people in the series come from, or if he's just like a Westerosi guy who is casted as a black guy. I don't know, because like it's very kind of clear. Like if you see somebody of a certain race or whatever, it gives you kind of insight where people come from. I just don't know how clearly they're sticking to that, because I don't recognize the sigil, so I don't know where he's supposed to come from, and I don't recognize his name.
Listen, takes it under advisement.
This guy seems like a shrewd man.
Yeah.
The hand.
Shall we discuss the Heirs tournament, Your Grace?
The Heirs
I
tournament.
would be delighted. Well, before the games are over, my son will be born. And the whole realm will celebrate.
We have no way of predicting the sex of the child.
Of course, no mace is capable of rendering an opinion free of conditions, are we now?
My prediction is this baby's not going to be born.
Yeah, I feel like this baby's gonna die.
There's a boy in the Queen's belly.
I know it. And my heir
Surely.
will soon put all of this damnable hand-wringing to rest himself.
He passed through the Red Keep's gates at Frost Lake.
Does my father know he's here?
No.
Who? Boyfriend? Oh,
Godspeed, good.
It's alright, sir.
on the throne. Iron Throne looks sick.
Sparo drivo sega uma capus.
Nuoso Daemon. Case nuos demigos masilare.
Doch hem pelink not stati lux daor. Sin dras man koda brimas to daor.
Kanske bankieri till det kommer.
Pave sogo scorio situmasta.
Kotion pradera.
This fucking guy turned him into his honor as if it's not for his heir.
Yeah.
What I like about the Iron Throne is that the paintings of it or the pictures of it we've seen in the books are like way taller, but they're doing an interesting thing where they're keeping it like it looks like in the modern era in Game of Thrones they might have just cleaned it up and just like
What
the
I
extra
really
shit
like
away.
about it is because obviously they wanted, like, now that they're like, oh, we should have made it more accurate to begin with, but we can't just make that and then somehow inexplicably 100 years later it's like tiny and shitty.
They're striking that balance, yeah.
It's on stairs already, so we'll give it the illusion of being tall with like swords sticking up all over the place in a way that could be easily explained as to why it looks different later on. Obviously, there's no use to having all these swords around other than just to make it look cool.
Right. Yeah, they're striking that balance, but like we were talking about before, of like book canon and like what is clearly illustrated in the books, but also what the reality of everybody's most people's experience of the series was for like 10 years.
Eu amuno 13 ciclos se adevo. Ergotis verim.
Nase pavron qui jalina.
Oh, Targaryens. What did he say? Sorry.
I bought you something.
What is that?
Necklace?
Do you know what it is?
Is it Valyrian steel?
It's Valyrian steel. Dark sister.
Dark sister.
Turn around.
She's clearly very inspired by, was it Rhaenys or Visenya? Because her name is Rhaena? What's her name?
I can't remember.
She's named after that. She's clearly very like spunky, very independent woman type style. She has that kind of fire in her. So like Dark Sister, that was the sword that I think it was Rhaenys, the older of the two sisters, I think, that were Aegon's sister wives. And it's clear that there's a little sexual tension here between uncle and niece.
Did you read it? Of course I read it.
Heart tree,
Princess
not
Valyria
cut down.
arrived in Dawn.
Well, there was one there before, anyway.
It was in King's Landing. There was a stump.
Oh.
You read it? See the great wonders across the narrow sea and eat only cake. I'm being serious. I know just about cake. You aren't worried about your position. I like this position. It's quite comfortable.
Good. That's good. I mean, she's lying, but it would be good if she did feel that way.
She was talking about her position in laying. She was joking, like, oh, this is quite comfortable as she's laying on the ground.
Yeah. I'm confused about that piece of history. About Nymeria. Valyrian pursuers?
Is it healing?
It has grown slightly.
Oh.
Ah!
Does he have cancer?
Can you say yet what it is?
We've sent inquiries to the Citadel. It's a small cut from sitting a throne. It's nothing.
Is it tetanus?
Bad infection.
Bad humors of the mind can adversely affect the body.
That'd be crazy. This guy just dies from sitting on the throne.
Yeah.
He so far he seems pretty chill. Like he seems like he's a good dad to his daughter. He's not.
Seems like he's a good laid back king trying to quell
he's like trying to get everyone to
when
get along.
everyone's like we need to act now. He's just like
it seems like he's
okay.
doing his job, but he's kind of like relaxed about it. He's not getting stressed out. It seemed like the other guys were being like, oh yeah, this other guy, he's like killing pirates over here. Maybe he's up to something. He's like, well, if he's killing pirates.
No, what's the problem?
Fine by me. You know, it's interesting, and it seems like things are gonna head south pretty quickly here.
I wonder what that sickness is. Is it a melanoma, or is it a fantasy sickness to do with the Targaryens, or is it like some kind of infection from like sitting on the throne and getting like cut by those dirty old iron blades? That's what he said, but he's not a maester.
Yeah.
It's clearly infected, and they're like trying to quell it. I doubt it's like grayscale or some random shit.
No, but it could be some kind of like it's like a wound that's not healing, and like some kind of
it's spreading
flesh-eating bacteria, but a lot slower. Like flesh-eating bacteria in real life goes very, very fast. But you know, if it's a fake thing, it can go however fast it wants to go.
We should leech it again, Meg.
It's a wound that refuses to heal, Grandmaster. Might I suggest cauterization?
Cauterization would be a wise course of treatment, Your Grace.
Do it.
It seems like, you know, it might kill whatever's in there, but also
definitely cauterize it. Do whatever the fuck you can. Well, it's
seems
like
regardless,
the size of
it won't be very good.
silver dollar.
It's as warm as the Maesters will allow.
No dragons prefer heat.
After this miserable pregnancy, I wouldn't be surprised if I hatched an actual dragon.
Don't say that. It'll happen.
It's a nice bath she has.
Truly. To celebrate the firstborn son that we presently do not have. We do understand that nothing will cause a babe to grow a cock if it does not already possess one.
This child is a boy, Emma.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it. I've never been uncertain of anything. It's clearer than a memory.
He has visions?
Yeah.
Our son was born wearing Aegon's iron crown.
I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords, and I placed our son upon the Iron Throne, and all the dragons roared as one.
It's like an intense dream.
I'm wearing a crown. Spare me.
Yeah.
It's unpleasant enough as it is.
She's stressed out.
Just because you see a vision doesn't mean it'll come true, though. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And if we learned anything from Rhaego and from Daenerys, there was a lot of talk of visions of she eventually had a dream of Rhaego being the stallion that mounts the world and conquering Westeros with like a whatever it was, like a fire wreath horse as his sigil or something like that, and he came out looking like a little wrinkly bat lizard, like, and crumbled into maggots and worms and shit. Like, just because you see a vision, or just because you're shown something, doesn't mean that it will come true. Sometimes it means it's the opposite. Sometimes it means it's something that won't happen or that could never happen. Mm-hmm. Same thing we learned from Bran as well.
It also doesn't mean that might be this child. Even if that was to come true, you might have another one. But it seems like they've been largely unsuccessful, considering their older child is like like 16, 17 looking at this point.
It's 17 years after he was
17.
named king. So.
And she was pregnant at the time, so yeah, she'd be 17.
If only things just worked out in this fucking universe, like...
This is the last time. Viserys.
That she'll be able to bear a child?
I've lost one babe in the cradle, had 2 stillbirths and 2 pregnancies.
Oh.
Before their term.
Oh.
That's 5.
Oh.
Twice as many years. And I'm sorry if I have failed you in that I am.
Oh my god.
That's so sad.
I've mourned all the dead children like
5th child in 10 years. I didn't even think of that the other girls, like, I didn't make that connection. Obviously she's 17, we just talked about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't make the connection that, like, oh yeah, they're a royal family. You have one 17-year-old and no other children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus Christ. City Watch?
kind of just hate this guy.
When I took command of the watch, you were stray mongrels.
Oh boy. Planning a coup.
And discipline. Now, you're a pack of hounds.
His armor is sick.
Home for the hunt. The city has fallen into squalor.
Oh no.
King's Landing will learn to fear the color gold.
Great. I feel like putting this guy in charge of the watch was like not a good move to keep him out of trouble.
He's trying to get results, and he's also just breeding a merciless death squad that he can use inside the city.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, really?
For what?
These must be people that they know have like committed crimes, and they're like striking at this time, or are they just beating random people? His armor is so fucking cool. No, no, no!
Ugh. Well, I mean, they did say he was a rapist, so whatever. But Jesus Christ, doling out harsh punishments.
A murderer? But what about the Nice Watch?
Oh my God.
It was an unprecedented roundup of criminals of every ilk. Your brother made a public show of it until they needed a 2-horse cart.
Brother?
Looking all smug. Blood
The blood's still on
on
his face.
About my impunity.
You are to explain your doings with the city watch.
Your new gold
Look at
clothes made
those.
quite the impression.
I don't Making a public spectacle of wanton brutality is hardly in line with our laws.
Nobles from every corner of the realm are right now descending upon King's Landing for my brother's tourney. Do you want them mugged, raped, murdered? You might not know this unless you left the safety of the Red Keep, but much of King's Landing is seen by the small folk as lawless and terrifying.
I mean,
Our city should be safe for all its people.
Yeah, but this is not your motivation. like
It's
but
not.
he's saying like the way he's saying it of like, oh well, isn't this what you want? It's like, well, I mean, in a way, but that you're clearly like pulling something else.
he has an ulterior motive for sure.
I just hope
Obviously,
you don't have to maim.
I like him.
Our city
I mean, I
should
don't
be
like
safe
him,
for all
but
its
he's
people.
really well done character.
I just hope you don't have to maim half of my city to achieve this.
Time will tell.
We installed Prince Daemon as commander to promote law and order.
Good and honourable lady of the Vale.
In the vow, men are said to fuck sheep instead of women. I can assure you, the sheep are prettier.
Tell me, you made a vow before the Seven to honour your wife in marriage.
I could give Lady Rare to you, Lord Hightower, if you're in want of a woman to warm your bed. Your own lady wife passed recently.
Okay,
Did she not?
Otto.
Hightower.
Perhaps you aren't ready to move on just yet.
You know how my brother is.
God.
Jesus.
Must you indulge him?
My apologies, Your Grace.
This council has.
He's a
At
cunt.
great expense.
And goes straight to the brothel.
Classic.
Does he have ED?
What troubles you, my prince? You are Daemon Targaryen, Rider of Caraxes, widow of Dark Sister.
Oh, he had. Wait, that's Dark Sister? I didn't know he has Dark Sister.
Rider of Caraxes, you are Daemon Targaryen.
I guess this mistress, or this madam, is more of a paramour of some kind, or a confidant, or maybe she's just comforting him, but it seems like they have a sort of a relationship.
In our
I
history,
wonder who this girl is.
and this great day has been made.
Her friend?
Yeah,
I
like
think
if she's just her
she's-
friend or if she's
She's
like
she's the daughter of Lord Hightower, who's the
oh,
hand
okay.
of the king.
Okay.
By the way, Hightower is the noble family of Old Town, which is or that area, which is the area that is around the Citadel, the Maester Citadel on the East Coast. Very important family, very tied to the Maesters. I think that's why he's wearing this. He's wearing the chain, It's like a symbol of like his family's connection to that, how they're like different links and stuff like that.
I mean, they all have kind of necklaces like that.
But his specifically is styled in the style of the Maesters, how it's sort of different sized links.
That I am happy to share. Queen Emma has begun her labors.
Oh shit. And everybody's here and not with her.
Wouldn't it be a shame if she did give birth to a son and someone who's totally not suspicious goes in there and just fucking kills him?
That's for sure happening, by the way. Like, that's the end of the episode cliffhanger for sure. I love seeing all the sigils. Oh, there's Baratheon, there's Lannister right there in the middle. Aaron, Tully.
I only asked for the favor of the queen who never was.
Good fortune to you, cousin.
I would gladly take it. I
Cousin.
I needed it.
I like they added that cousin because the Baratheons, they were taken by Oryx, something like that. Targaryen, or I don't know if he had a last name, but he was Valyrian, if not, I believe, actually a Targaryen, who took Storm's End and the wife of the Storm Lord at the time for himself, and took his name and became the Baratheons. So the Baratheons actually have some blood of the dragon when Aegon conquered the place. So that's why she called him cousin. I think that's really cool attention to detail. I love it so much. Somebody gonna die here? Oh,
That would hurt so
I think he got stepped on.
absolutely bad.
he got fucked up. Did it miss his shield? I didn't see. So far, I'm loving the show, by the way.
Yeah,
like, so far, it
a lot
is
better than I thought that it was.
spot on. I'm loving it.
It's a lot better than I was scared it was gonna be.
Oh, yeah. It's like, it's good. I wonder who that is. Badass.
Honestly, the helmet's a little bit of overkill, not gonna lie.
Rhaegar had a helmet like that. It's classic.
Well, at least if he's here, he's not killing any babies.
The horse, well, he could be hiring somebody to do it, or one of
Exactly.
his city watchmen. Let's look at these. Like, his armor is on point. Look at the horse armor. The other horses don't have armor. What do we got here? I think that's Hightower. That's why he's looking at it. Yeah. Is that his son, or his...
It's someone.
his son?
Just to try and mess with him.
Or to try and kill him.
Exactly. Yeah, either just as like a fuck you, or yeah.
Or, everybody knows.
If he's
She's
planning, like,
worried.
yeah.
She's worried.
He's planning a double murder today.
Wait, what the fuck was that? Like, is he gambling? Is he betting against the king? Or betting against the prince?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Horse is in a rut by the looks of it. Or just angry. He's not wearing a face shield.
Yeah, that seems a bit.
Whoa.
This is such a horrible, like.
Custom?
Yeah. Yo!
He fainted for the horse? Oh no! That's dirty.
Is that even allowed?
Yeah, I mean, it's allowed.
I mean,
it's
I
just,
get-
it's not honorable. Oh! His eye, dude.
That's.
The costumes are seriously on point for the show. You weren't wrong.
Now, I'm fairly certain I can win these games, Lady Allison. Having your favor, rule be assured.
After he just destroyed her brother, and the guy just like, oh my fucking god. Are they planning something? What was that look? The queen?
What's going on?
I think I heard him say the queen. Oh no. Did she die?
Or did she give birth to a girl? Or is there problems? Oh.
Oh no.
Having a hard time.
The infant is in breach, Your Grace. All attempts to turn the vapor failed.
Fuck. Fuck.
Something for her. We've given her as much milk of the poppy as we can without risking the child. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh no.
Not. That's.
Oh my god. Breach. In medieval times, they're doing everything they can. They gotta like cut her open, like.
It's not.
And that's
not
a
death.
Oh! What the hell is happening here?
Ah!
Oh!
What the fuck?
Whoa!
And the day grows up.
I wonder if this is how we should celebrate the birth of our future king.
Probably not.
What the
years since King Mabel's end.
Ah!
Green summer grass. None have known real war. Filled with fists full of steel and balls full of seed.
I guess those two kids are theirs. Oh my god!
What the fuck was that? Oh, yeah, I'm right there with. Why? Why?
What's the point? Oh my god!
She is not happy. Oh my fucking god!
If you would.
What happened to the baby?
During a difficult birth, it sometimes becomes necessary for the father to make an impossible choice.
Oh no.
Speak it. To sacrifice one or to lose them both. A technique is taught at the Citadel which involves cutting directly into the womb to free the infant, but the resulting blood loss will help.
You can save the child.
We must either act now.
But they don't know the
or
gender
leave it
either.
to the
Yeah.
gods.
Or leave it to the gods. What are you gonna do, Your Grace? Was that a melee or was that just a fight? I don't even know.
I think because they got knocked off the horse and then just fought each other.
Man.
This is stressful.
They're going to bring the babe out now.
Does she know? It looks like she knows.
I love you.
Are they gonna smother her?
No, they're gonna cut her open.
Oh no, she doesn't know.
She doesn't. Oh my god. And it's gonna be a girl, you already know.
It's fully a girl. Oh my fucking god. She doesn't want it. They're binding her?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my. We had a very serious hiccup with our recording software that we hope doesn't happen again, but yeah, it's been like 2 hours since like a second ago where you guys were watching. Anyway, let's just keep going.
Right at the best possible
Literally.
moment. But at least the footage got saved. It like,
we looked over and we're like, ah! Yeah.
I don't want to watch this
Yeah, I
again.
don't want to watch this again either. Holy shit. Yeah, he got knocked off by the Stormland boy. And then they had a melee. Oh! What's between its legs? Why was he showboating like you didn't kill the guy? Oh! Oh shit. He's gonna let him go and he's just gonna stab him. Or not.
I was hoping
Oh.
to ask for the princess's favor.
What would she love? So Kristen.
Princess,
Dornishman.
So much
It's-
blood.
It's a girl.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
it's a boy. A new heir, your grace. Had you and the queen chosen a name?
Baylor? Baylor? Sounded like it was choking.
Now that the baby is, even though she died, someone killing this baby is still not off the table for me. That's just the next thing.
Wait, so if is that the Baylor?
Did you say Baylor or just
Bane? I don't think there's any other Targaryen prince or king named Bane. I think is there subtitles? Hang on.
Yeah.
It was Baylor?
No, Balon.
Balon. Okay. I don't think this kid lives very long then.
Why? Because you never heard of him?
I never heard of a Targaryen prince or king named Balon, but I'm again, I don't know very much, so. Oh shit.
They're burning her.
What?
Oh my god. And they both died anyway. Holy shit.
No way, dude. Oh, she has to give the word. I thought I was like kind of half joking about the baby choking, but no.
Yeah.
I think it died right there, like, or it was dead. It wasn't crying, was it?
No, I guess it wasn't crying. What are those?
Was that?
Where's Ronnie? Here.
Is that supposed to be cat's paw?
What's
The
cat's
Valyrian steel dagger that fucking Arya used to kill the Night King?
I don't know. I don't remember it.
Where's Rhaenyra?
Your Grace, this is the last thing any of us wish to discuss at this dark hour, but I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession. These recent tragedies have left you without an obvious important. The succession be firmly in place for the stability of the realm.
The succession is already by precedent and by law.
Shall we say his name? Daemon Targaryen.
If Daemon were to remain the uncontested heir, it could destabilize
The realm.
Look at what he did with the Gold Club. The City Watch is fiercely loyal to him. An army 2,000 strong. An army you gave him, Otto. I named Daemon Master, but you said he was a tyrant. As Master of Coin, you said he was a spendthrift. Putting Daemon in command at the City Watch was your solution. The truth is, Daemon should be far away from this court. Daemon is
Okay, then.
Is this where are they gonna send him to Dragonstone to just live out the fucking rest of his days?
Daemon should be far away from this court. Daemon is my blood. And he will have his place at my... But if the gods should visit some further tragedy on you, either by design or...
Okay.
What do you say? My brother would murder me. Take my crown. Are you?
I mean,
Why are you why are they inviting that? Like, look, he's listening to this.
Yeah.
Is this gonna put, like, I don't think it's gonna, he's not such an imbecile that this is when he would first think of murdering his brother, but his brother's clearly loyal to him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that I don't think that he would kill his brother. Like they seem to have a stronger relationship than that, but I don't know.
I guess what it seems like is he's not necessarily the most trustworthy person. He definitely wants power. He definitely
wants to be king.
But I don't know whether like he looks significantly younger than his brother. So I don't know if he would, just like bide his time a little bit, or like because if he had wanted to be king so badly that he would murder his brother, he literally could have done that at any point for the last 17 years that he didn't have a son.
Yeah.
Daemon has ambition, yes, but not for the throne.
He lacks the patience for it.
The gods have yet to make a man who lacks the patience for absolute power. Under such circumstances, it would not be an aberration for the king to name a successor. Well, who else would have?
Oh. Mice?
The king's firstborn child, Rhaenyra. Precedent.
If order and stability so concerns this council, then perhaps we shouldn't break 100 years of it by naming a girl heir.
Daemon would be a second Maegor. He's impulsive and... It is the duty of this council to protect the king and the realm.
A second Maegor is a very steep
It's fine. Just
accusation.
name your daughter, then your brother will marry your daughter and get what he wants anyway. Genius. He wins.
I mean, wouldn't they do that anyway? Like, he married his sister, I imagine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that wouldn't necessarily solve the problem.
I guess he wants to be named king, not just like the husband of.
Yeah.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
You wouldn't have... There are others who would have a claim.
Such as your wife, Lord Corlys, the queen who never was.
Rhaenys was the only child of Jaehaerys' eldest son. She had a strong claim at the great...
Ago, you announced your support for Daemon.
If we cannot agree on an heir, then how can we
My
expect
wife
a
and son are dead.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, you guys.
I will not sit here and suffer crows that come to feast on their corpses.
It sucks because that's not a good place to leave that discussion. Especially with Daemon watching.
But yeah, really, it wasn't that necessary even really of a time.
Who is he talking to? Who is he talking to?
Send a raven to Old Town, straight away.
Old Town.
I thought you might go to him, offer him comfort.
In his chambers.
What?
I wouldn't know what to say.
What?
He'll be glad of a visitor.
Okay.
You might wear one of your mother's dresses.
What?
Scheming. Whoa.
He's talented. Is that paper mache? Oh, I think that's supposed to be Dragonstone. Could be wrong.
The Lady Alicent High.
What is it, Alicent?
I thought I might come and look in on your Grace. I brought a book.
Very kind.
Oh my.
It's a favorite of... I do know how passionate you are.
Yes, I am.
Which book?
When my mother died, people only ever spoke to me in riddles. All I wanted was for someone to say that they were sorry for what happened to me. I'm very...
Before we begin, Your Grace, I have a report I feel compelled. Last night, Prince Daemon bought out one of the pleasure houses on the street to entertain officers of the City Watch and other friends.
But dream and pray as they all might, it seems I'm not so easy. The gods give just as the gods take away.
He toasted Prince Daemon, the heir for a day.
Oh boy.
You cut the image of the conqueror, brother.
Did you say it? I don't know what you mean. You will address me as your grace, or I will have my Kingsguard cut out your tongue.
Oh no. Why does it always have to be this way?
The heir for a day. Did you say it?
Is that?
We can still mourn in our own way, Your Grace.
My family has just been destroyed. But instead of being by my side over near us, you chose to celebrate your own rise! Laughing with your whores and your leg spittles! I have only ever defended you! In everything I've given you, you've thrown back in my face!
You've only ever tried to send me away, to the Vale, to the City Watch, anywhere but by your side. 10 years! Not once have you asked me to be your hand.
Why would I do that?
Because I'm your brother. And the blood of the dragon runs thick.
Then why do you cut me so deep?
I've only ever spoken the truth. I see Otto Hightower for what he is.
An unwavering and loyal hand.
A cunt!
Seems like
a
kind of a
second son
cunt.
who stands to inherit nothing he doesn't seize for himself. He doesn't protect you. I would.
From what?
Yourself. You're weak, Viserys. And that Council of Leeches knows it. They all play on you for their own ends.
He's 100% right, they do.
Yeah.
You see that clear as day.
To name a new heir. Not anymore.
Oh, God.
You just...
You turn to Runestone and your lady wife at one. And you are to do so without quarrel. By order of your king.
You... This is not a good look.
Your Grace.
Seems like a big mistake.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
Oh my God, quit cutting yourself on this fucking dirty ass place. Now he's gonna die even faster.
Balerion the Dread. Man, that was not the right fucking move.
No.
He is grieving hard.
Balerion was the last living creature to have seen old Valyria before the Doom. I'm sorry, Rhaenyra. I have wasted the years since you were born, wanting for a son.
She's waited for this moment her entire life. Not just like being named heir, but being just acknowledged and...
You are the very best of your mother.
Daemon is your heir.
Daemon was not made to wear the crown, but I believe that you are. But the Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm.
I would know. It's killing me.
Beacon of the South, and without deceit.
Ooh.
I swear this might be
cool.
That is a nice dragon. This will end poorly.
Might be difficult for you to understand. Our histories. They tell us that Aegon looked across the Blackwater from Dragons, saw a rich land ripe for the capture. But ambition alone is not what drove him to conquer. It was a dream.
Oh.
And just as Daenerys foresaw the end of Valyria, Aegon foresaw the end of the world of men. Just to begin with a terrible winter, gusting out of the distant north. When this great winter comes, Rhaenyra, all of Westeros must stand against it. And if the world of men is to survive, a Targaryen must be seated on the Iron Throne. A king or queen, strong enough to unite the realm against the cold and the dark. Aegon called his dream the Song of Ice and Fire. This secret has been passed from king to heir since Aegon's time. Now you must promise to carry it. Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and and protector of the realm.
I love the long neck.
Yeah, that dragon looks cool.
Targaryen.
What did you think of that one? Lost you at the end a little bit there.
Just with the little, like, with this dead, it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
with, like,
okay, at least
with
they
Cat's
do-
paw, the super important dagger.
Okay,
that will
here's the
save
thing.
world.
At least he didn't literally say that. I know they were implying that, but at least he wasn't like, "This is the only one." Like if he said some shit like that. This blade has been prophesized to save us. That would be so bad. But I mean, if they had to do that,
I don't want to focus. I don't want to focus on that first. I don't want to. I just before we get to that, because people like we just finished the thing, and I don't want to. I don't want that to be the thing that like we took away from this. This was an awesome episode. This was an incredible
really good.
episode of television. I'm really excited for where this is going to go.
This-
you can tell it's like lower budget in some ways than Game of Thrones was at its peak, but not in a way that really matters. A lot of the changes that they're making seem way more it looks way more quintessentially fantasy, and it doesn't look like they're trying to walk in the footsteps of, at least visually, walk in the footsteps of the old series. I love it. I honestly loved this. This was
really
awesome.
nice. It was a lot different than what I had imagined because obviously I didn't look too much into this show before we did a reaction to it, but it's just different and immediately more compelling, and I like that they're really focusing in on it. Like they set it up so I feel like they set up this series so well in this first episode because I was worried that they were going to just be like, oh, it's about the Targaryens, so we're gonna make like this weird story that's gonna be focused on like a story rather than it's very character driven. We're getting a lot of the characters, we're seeing a lot of them. Obviously a big inciting incident of, you know, the wife and heir dying that then causes the king to make probably the worst call he could have made.
He could have just let his brother sit the throne. Like
the thing is it wasn't necessarily a wrong decision to make his daughter his heir. The problem was he did it at the exact wrong time and by the wrong motivations. He did it as a way to keep his brother from the throne rather than as a way to give his daughter the throne. If he had done this like a year ago or 2 or 3, however long ago, and if he was just one day like, you know what? Seems like we're not having a son. I don't want to keep putting my wife through traumatic births.
I think his counselors wouldn't have let him. People wouldn't have let him make that decision, like while his wife was still fertile. Basically, I think that like, I think that it's a last ditch effort to keep power and to keep it from Daemon, and Daemon has. I don't know if he would have assassinated his brother. I don't know. He might have. I think it's possible, but I don't think that he. I think that they have. I stand by what I said. That it seems to me, based on this very short portrayal, that I think they had a stronger relationship than that. They looked out for each other in small ways. They always advocated for each other, at least as far as we could see.
The only thing was, it seemed like
Viserys was being influenced by the council to push Daemon away because he was a stronger ruler, and they wouldn't be able to control him for their own.
Yeah,
I
do actually believe. Like
purposes.
At first, when he says, "Oh, you know, make me the hand of the king," I'm like, okay, well, that's probably not a good idea, but. You know, thinking about it, it may have actually been a good idea because that might have been enough for him, and he might then not now be plotting his revenge on being purposefully, disinherited, basically, from the throne, you know what I mean? Like, if he wasn't sent away in that manner...
He was betrayed.
Yeah.
He was betrayed. He had, he was by all the rights of Westeros, and by the laws that were set up by the guy that Viserys is fantasizing over. Again, it's not wrong to make his daughter like it's. I don't know. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's not wrong to want your daughter to succeed you, but it's wrong to betray the person who has been looking forward to this throne for 17 years and by every right has it.
Yeah, I think the problem is that his daughter, like they said, there's no rule actually stating that it has to be a king. You know, it could have been originally before he was the king. It was a toss-up between him and I guess his sister as well. So it's not that it would have been that unheard of.
It was him and his cousin.
Oh, okay, his cousin.
I think.
I'm not sure, but either way, it's because he did it specifically to make sure his brother didn't get on it. Then it changes the entire action in of itself and makes it a bad decision. You know. It's just not good.
I really like the setup. I really love Daemon Targaryen as a character. He's fucking cool as hell. Total renegade, total badass. Total cunt, and like, you know, clearly a little more ambitious than he should be, but just cool. He's a badass like fighter, jouster, dragon rider. He's got the coolest looking dragon we've seen so far in the series.
We've only seen 2 dragons.
If you count the previous show where we saw 3 other dragons. Yeah, I think it's cool as hell. I think he's a great. He's such like he's immediately like a very magnetic character and is very cool. I even like Viserys. It sucks that he's so stricken by grief that
I think that's the problem. Is he's too much of a normal guy.
Yeah.
Like, and
he's very reasonable. Normally,
it's hard because it makes him good in some ways and bad in other ways. Good in the ways that he's not being like, you know, horrible. He's not being horrible and just going after his own power. But he's also influenced because he tries to keep the peace and, you know, lets people get away with certain things or like take advantage of him in certain ways because, you know, like
because
that's
the greater good.
That's just how it has to be for him to continue a reign of peace and for everyone.
I think that's his main objective,
the main problem is now he's like turning it up, making some radical decisions because he's so devastated.
Yeah.
And now he's making enemies and ruining what he had like had in place for so long, which is, you know, trying to balance everything. He just went and like threw it all on the ground and messed it up.
Honestly, like everything visually about the show, the acting is top notch.
I was worried.
I was worried about the acting.
There's a few things. The first thing that I look for is like the costumes. Did they cheap out, and is that just because that's just the very first visual indication. Second one, the biggest one is the acting. Because if you're if you're making a sequel, in this case a prequel series, and then you just hire like shitty actors that don't play the characters right, it can just kind of ruin the whole thing. But everyone is really top notch so far. Mm-hmm. And it really helps. Like they picked everyone so well. Like you just immediately gain their personality.
Yeah.
By like even the first scene with them, I don't know. It's really nice. And I think with Viserys as well, he's an interesting character. Yeah, because he's so normal, and he also really cares about his family. Like it seems like he really cares about everyone. And I think that's interesting because we see him, you know, literally kill his wife, who was probably going to die anyway. But it wasn't because he wanted a son so bad that he just did not care about her at all. It was a horrible decision to have to make. And what I just like that you could really tell that it was super conflicting for him to have to make that call.
Yes.
And then to lose them both in the end, it was just like the last straw.
One thing I like is the attention to detail of the artifacts. Like, obviously the throne is sick, but Viserys obviously has Blackfire, which is Aegon's sword. It's so cool looking. It like the sharp point. It almost the tapering style. It's just it's so well designed. And Dark Sister, I didn't get a good look at it.
I
but
think he never took it out at least.
I think I guess he took it out in the melee. Fight. Yeah, it's a little thinner, a little lighter, but still obviously Valyrian steel. I love the armor and the weapons, and the attention to detail. Again, like if we could circle back to the cat's paw thing, can someone? I don't know if I'm going to be reading comments for this very much, but if that's from the books, totally hands off. I could be totally wrong, and I'm going to go into this like admitting that anything that I say could be fucking wrong because I haven't read the books. I don't know what's in the books, so I don't know. If this is the show trying to like justify the series,
or like make a little reference, or
to try and like attach it to the other series, I just to
be like, hey, I know none of you liked what we did, so we're just gonna retroactively.
Well, it's not we. It's not the same. It's not Dan
same
and
people.
Dave or whatever.
But it's the same. Like it's still HBO.
Yeah, Dan. I don't like that. I think that I actually haven't read the actual book, so I can't. I don't know about Aegon, how much they talk about Aegon's dream of the Song of Ice and Fire, if that's like a legit thing. I honestly, this is where I wish I knew more, but so I can't speak as far as that. But I think it's a little heavy-handed for now. Apparently, the Targaryens, and again, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit like, this is why the Targaryens are like fighting these wars and want to keep the line of succession and shit, and why it wasn't just. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is kind of cool that Aegon. I think from Aegon's perspective, it's kind of cool that he would also conquer all of Westeros and unite all the people against like a coming threat, and that's the reason why he burned 100,000 soldiers in the Field of Fire. Who united against him and was willing to like burn literally hundreds of thousands of people with his dragons and roast people alive in their castles and stuff like that. If he in the end was doing it benevolently and not just for conquest's sake, I think that might be kind of interesting. So maybe that deserves more thought. But I just think that like the little thing at the end where he explains that might be a little bit heavy-handed. But I don't know. I'm willing to go back on that if it's actually part of the real material and not just. I guess I've just been burned too many times by the TV adaptation of this series, and I know enough to know when it's like silly, at least I think. So if this is not like that, then I apologize, and I'd like to know what else. It'll take a little bit for me to get to know everybody's names because the dialogue, like I was talking about in the beginning. I was hoping the dialogue would be good. As far as I can see, it's pretty good so far. It's moving very fast. They're cramming a lot into this. They need to get
a lot into the first episode especially.
But probably. Even if you compare it even to episode 1 of... if you compare it to episode 1 in Game of Thrones season 1, I guess it was pretty dense. I like it. Overall, I really am happy with this first episode. It was bloody and like tragic and dramatic and big and epic still, while still being very character driven. And that's right in that pocket where you want a Song of Ice and Fire.
And I like every character. Like I feel like I got a good feel of everyone, even though I can't remember most of their names. I feel like, everyone's well established and everyone's interesting. Even if I don't personally like them, I like what they're bringing to the show, I think.
Do you think Otto Hightower is trying to marry his daughter off to the king?
Seemed a little bit suspicious, not gonna
lie. It seemed like he was getting in while the getting's good and sending his daughter in her mother's dress to go and then it seemed like she just had it, and then it seemed like she
it's that definitely seems suspicious. It definitely seemed like he sent a message back to Old Town. So he's clearly up to something. I'm not sure the extent of that, but I don't know.
And then Daemon takes his paramour from the whorehouses.
Yeah.
On his dragon, riding off to God knows where.
probably not back to his wife, if I had to guess.
Well, I think that's why he took her.
Yeah.
To imply that he's not going back to his fucking wife in the Veil. Yeah, this is a civil war. Obviously that's the point of the show. It's a civil war. So you're supposed. I think you're supposed to know that going in, obviously, and I knew that. I think we both knew that going in that the show's about a Targaryen civil war. It's just tragic going into it and knowing that and seeing just like how things are so close to being good. Things are so close to being just okay and chill, and then just for one reason or another, things just go sideways, and it's silly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I thought for sure the baby was gonna get assassinated.
Yeah. But it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary, and I don't even think that it was necessarily even planned, which then makes me think as well that, like, whatever his face, the brother Daemon wasn't planning to, like, pull any stunts. You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't already have an assassination plan for this baby in place, I mean, that would have been very bold as well. You know what I mean?
The way he was sitting on the throne, you'd think he did have an exit strategy for that or something, but I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know, is there a way to, like, induce labor or something like that? Like, at the wrong time or prevent labor? Like, maybe if he, like, oh, here's, I'm just stopping by, you know.
I don't know.
Stopping by, sis, because I guess it would be his sister too, with some muffins, and it's laced with like essence of not give birth flour or something like that.
I mean, she was giving birth. The baby was just in the wrong position.
I know, but like, is there a way to influence a breech birth? I don't know.
I don't think.
Is there a way he could have like talked to the maester about that or something? Like, I don't know. Probably not is my point. Like, you know, but then what was did he have a plan? I wonder if we'll maybe find that out, that like if you know it was always his plan to poison the baby or something, or to poison her, or give her a blood thinning essence of flour or something like that to make sure that she dies in childbirth and possibly kills the baby. I don't know. It's just, I'm interested. I guess I'm spending time on this because Daemon is an interesting character. He's instantly super interesting. I don't know whether he would be that be that bold about it to do that. Like, would that have been? It seems like he might have, but it's hard to say because I do believe that he has like loyalty at the very least, but maybe he doesn't.
And he at the least didn't seem happy. Like, I mean, he gave a speech and stuff, but he wasn't necessarily overjoyed that you know, his family members died. You know, I don't know.
He was definitely joyed that they died. Are you kidding me? He was super happy. If the wife's dead, then she can't give birth to any more children. Or if his sister's dead, then she can't give birth to any more children. If the child's dead, then his face healed. He really threw a celebration. Are you joking? Maybe he was ecstatic, or was he? Because he was he threw the party, but he looked kind of somber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
What if it was his kid all along?
I don't think so. That would be crazy. I don't think so.
That would be crazy, though. And that's why he was sad, because it was going to be his
I think he was just a little bit upset, but not to the point that he wasn't still going to be, you know.
He seems very complex, and I'm making a million wrong guesses on purpose because I know it could go in so many different ways, and it could be really cool. I guess
that's what I'm saying is I think that he is kind of a shithead, but was loyal. But I think now he's been pushed away to the point that now he's going to do his own thing, because even though he was being a shithead, he liked being the heir. He liked, you know, sitting on the throne and doing his own thing. But I don't think he, you know, I genuinely, from my opinion, don't think that he was planning any assassination attempts previous till now. I don't think he would have killed the baby had it survived. I don't think that he would have killed his brother. But now, bets are off.
Yeah.
Because he did get a taste of power with the watch, and like it seems like when he it seems like he's the kind of guy that when he gets going on something and gets people following him, he can just like keep going more and more down that path.
He reminds me a lot of Griffith. Like, a lot of Griffith. He's basically Griffith in Game of Thrones. But a little bit more angry, or a little bit more fiery. Griffith was much more like chill, very, very calm at the wheel. And he seems like it too, but he seems like he's a little bit vindictive. He enjoys like punishment, and he enjoys the darker things a little bit more openly than Griffith did.
But not to the point of being like crazy.
That's the really interesting part. He seems like he could be vindictive. He seems like he has a very strong rogue streak to him. But he's not stupid, and he's not so crazy that he's like Ramsay. You know what I'm saying? He's not, and he's not like Joffrey, where he's just dumb and a 13-year-old boy.
And it's interesting because I think for him, I don't think that he's the right person to be king, but I don't think he's necessarily. I don't think he would necessarily be bad.
They're saying he would be like a second Maegor. I guess he was just a piece of shit. I think he killed his wives. I think he did like a bunch of shit. He was very cruel and a very bad king. I wish I could find a more succinct summary, but yeah. Anyway,
well,
he was a bad guy. I don't think Daemon would be a worse guy, but then again, maybe we don't know how this ends.
This is what I'm saying. I think that he shouldn't be the king because he's the type of person that, although he might be good at first, if like the wrong person wronged him and he got all wound up in it, he might take it too far and then piss off other people and then, have people coming against him, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like...
But he seems like a strong ruler, and that's
at the same time, it seems like he could let it get away from himself if he, got caught up in something.
I disagree. I think that he seems like he'd be a ruler like Tywin. You know what I'm saying? Harsh, but firm, but maybe not fair, but feared. but still, like, he brutalized people in King's Landing, but they were criminals, and it's he's just enacting the law of the land, and it was a very brutal way of doing so. It definitely wasn't a morally good thing to do necessarily. But as far as doing his job, as far as being effective at his position, he was very effective at that, and he, unlike his brother, can see through the other people on the council, can see that they all kind of have their own ends that they're trying to get to, and I think what he said at the end of the episode was really right, that he would be strong and his brother is weak, and I don't. Again, I like Viserys. I think that he's a benevolent, good king, but I think that he seems to let things slide or not notice that people are really trying to get under his skin, and Daemon does. He can see through it.
That's what I was saying. That Daemon, like he said, would have been a good hand of the king because he wouldn't have been the king in like that position of power, but he would have been able to use his abilities of like you just said, keeping track of other people's bullshit, and not letting them walk all over you to and they could have like ruled together, like good cop, bad cop, ruled together.
Anyway, I guess that's enough of a discussion. I'm just really excited. I'm going in like a million different directions just because I'm actually excited for the show. I'm actually excited to see where things go. This is way
better than I thought that it was gonna be. I thought that it was gonna be like okay. I didn't think that it would be on the level. I thought that it was going to be like, okay, we're watching the show. It's the Game of Thrones prequel. We're going to watch it. It's going to like give some elements of Game of Thrones, but overall just be shittier.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that. I thought that it was its own thing, but really good and high quality.
Agreed.
Still.
Agreed.
Yeah. Good. I'm excited.
Leave a like and subscribe. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.